So I haven't done a vlog update in a little while, and I thought I would do this. So today is 31 days of this guy.
Wow.
Yeah. So I figured Marv, and this is kind of impromptu, this is not scripted, because those are the only way vlogs are done properly.
It's also a thing that Tom really likes to do.
Yeah, don't script anything. I was going to ambush him when he walked in the door, but I didn't quite have the camera set up. I was going to have him walk in the back door and just set him down. Now speak to the camera.
It's very early. I haven't had coffee yet.
So, but what we want to do is share with you, what has Marvin learned in 30 days? Besides what we've shared with you, such as the plunger thing. Mm-hmm. He learned that.
Yes. And I have used it on more than one occasion so far, oddly enough.
Yeah, and the only prompting he's had so far is me saying, we're going to shoot a video about what you've learned in 30 days. Come sit over here. So it's still a little bit ambushing, but I did have to set the camera up and put a light and, the thing I do.
So I've had some time to try to think about all the things that I've learned and put a positive spin on them. No, that won't be hard to do at all. I've loved every minute of being here so far.
That's a good start.
Yeah. So, what I've learned. It's a lot of fun working here. I don't think anybody who's watched the videos would doubt that. Everybody here is great, and I mean that's the personal side of it. But just even like business side of it is just I've learned a lot about small business. I spent all of my career up to this point in academia, which is a very different world.
It's not the real world, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. So meeting all these business people and learning that everybody has their own story and how we fit within their story it's been challenging, but it's been a great challenge, and I've loved it so far.
And Marv has also learned that large corporate companies sometimes have their head up their butt in special ways, like when they show up without the cable to run the cable that we're there to help them run, and they meet us there but don't have the cable. Marv's like, how does this occur?
Yeah, that was a foreign concept to me, because in academia, like they like to do everything in house, so there may be a department completely devoted to taking cables to where they need to be, and that is that person's job. And when no cables need to go anywhere, that dude has nothing to do.
Yep.
So yeah, just things like that. Just sort of how I guess things can get overlooked when you're in a big corporation and you have all these things to worry about. You're just thinking about the cable needs to be run. So we're not thinking about the cable needs to get there if we're going to run it. Mm-hmm. And I think I at least around here, it's our job to manage those things and do those things. So I'm happy to report and to say here that doesn't happen too often. We know what we need. We often know what other people need before they do. Yeah. And so we can take care of that. So learning kind of to juggle all that stuff too has been a good thing for me to learn.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. He's now taking a lot of the burden of paperwork off of me and sending quotes.
A lot of the burden of paperwork, I might add. I haven't seen Tom push a single piece of paper since I've been here, but I got a stack of it on my desk.
It's also partly because we're paperless.
That is true. Yeah, that's
true. One of our little things is we do a lot of that. And that's actually something I'm going to cover hopefully soon is other IT people. I see them doing different ways of document management and things like that. And we have our own ways that we do it, and I want to encourage people to do it. We focus on security, focus on comprehensive document management, and focus on storing things in a very sane manner, I guess would be a good way to put it. I was on the video the other day that was posted on live, and one of my clients who was here with me on that live video, I was on his show he hosts on Facebook Live, but he liked that because he came from the corporate world where document management mattered a lot, which was the Ford Q1 and ISO world for manufacturing, but that's where I was before in corporate. So those document management methodologies, those processes, you don't find them a lot in IT. IT people start out of, I'm really technically savvy, I'm really good at fixing computers, and then turns into that. And Marv is, we've indoctrinated him into our document management process, and he likes it too, because I imagine documents are at least somewhat organized in academia too.
They try to be.
Yeah.
They tend to be. In the actual academic side of it, yes. But I would say there's room for improvement there.
Oh, always, yeah. Yeah, well, no system's perfect. It's
Right.
the best we have today, but it never means that we've stopped progressing towards something better. That's how I like to look at it.
And I wonder sometimes if that isn't something that keeps companies from adopting a good document management or changing their document management program.
They're afraid to change it.
Exactly. They think like, oh, well, this company does it this way, we should do it that way. That might not be the best way for you. We just kind of started switching here over to a new kind of document management system that within the last couple of days that I think is going to work well for us. Just different ways. It might not be something that would work for another company though.
Right. And part of the reason we're able to be a little bit more agile, one, we're not that big of a company with only a few people, but the other side of it too is we use everything on open source software, which is a topic I'm going to get to in a second here. But a lot of that means Marv's like, hey, can we add this feature? And I'm like, sure, can we add this? I'm not the best programmer, and most of my programming turns into a game of what did Tom misspell and what variable, holy crap, where's this bracket go and why does everything not work anymore? But, in a matter of hours, I was able to modify our systems because we have all the code to them and add the features we wanted for document management. And basically, it's like a conversation system we added. So we're expanding how we do that. And, it's one of those things. But the topic of open source comes in because we've converted Marv over to Linux. And how much Linux had you used before 30 days ago?
I had a Ubuntu disk that I would use if there were files that were unrecoverable on a Windows machine. So I would pop that in, recover the files, and then image it back to another Windows. So I had that was it. That was all I'd had. And now my machine is a Linux machine. I'm learning about it every single day, and I love it so far.
Yeah, so we've brought him over to the Linux side. So he's now actually full-time using it and creating business and work on it and sending out quotes and doing all the things that the job function entails. And, because we run everything in here on open source software, it's been, we're here to answer questions for him, but it's one of those intimidating things people are afraid to use, but we're like, we use it every day here. Our computers are open source. The stack I run in the back that runs our point of sale system, that runs our document management, everything's open source stack. And then the desktops we use are all open source. And we're able, people say, oh, I should use the software that my clients use. And I'm like, why? Why would I want to torture myself like that? Trust me, I fix Windows problems every single day. We had a crazy Active Directory problem with a server the other day. We had another problem with another Windows server where SQL Server decided not to start. Those are issues we fix every day. I have plenty of hands-on experience day in and day out fixing Windows. Because the reality is, very little of my job is fixing any Linux problems. All of my job is fixing our support problems we have with Windows and all the tools we have. We're picky about the tools we choose because they work in open source, so it means I can use those tools to administer closed source machines such as Windows, and the Screen Connect is one of our remote support tools, no problem. The whole control panel MSP software use, it's all web interfaced. Our whole point of sale system, web interface. So it's the platform that you run it on is really irrelevant. And then everything else is just putting some quotes together, which any document, can do to put together a proposal. LibreOffice works just as good as Microsoft Office for that, but at half the price and fewer of the problems. So Marvin has no problem adopting over to it. Once you tell him which softwares to use, you can switch over to Linux and go, wow, this isn't hard. But we don't run QuickBooks, so I will throw that out there for a lot of small businesses. I mean, watching going, can I switch to Linux? Which I get a lot of them. I say, what is the software you use? And if they say, I run QuickBooks, like, I'm sorry. If you love QuickBooks, and a lot of people do, I'm not a fan of it, but we support it. We fix it all day. QuickBooks accounts for some percentage of the problems that we fix for our clients because it's also based on not the best programming, I think. So outside of that, most things, if you have a web-based application, you can probably switch over to Linux. You can get rid of a lot of the problems and get started. And I also can throw a link to video of getting started with Linux. I have a video tutorial of what it's like to get started and get loaded with it.
Very good video. I go back to it a few times. Or have gone back to it a few times.
Yeah. And before you watch that video, read the comments I have. Not comments. The updated description of the video. I used a couple words wrong, and you're never as wrong as when you're wrong on the internet.
Ain't that the picture.
So people share with how wrong I am about a couple things, and I'm fine with that. They were correct. I was wrong. I interposed a couple words, and I said a couple things like, "Oh, they release this every year," and I meant to say every 2, but I said every year. So I got called out for saying it wrong, and I did. I have an errata at the bottom that's a correction of things I said. No problems with that, but it doesn't really affect the whole video. It's people who are tech savvy love to be super correct, and they should be, and I should be more diligent and read from a script versus my head, which is sometimes accurate.
Thankfully, when Tom said I would get paid every week, it was not every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So he was correct on that one, and so that has been no problem.
Yes. But we just wanted to share an update, vlog update. Marvin's using Linux, so there's a change. Marvin is adopted to our ways of how we do things, and
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
He's drinking the Kool-Aid and eating some of the hot sauce.
Oh, that is probably the biggest thing I've learned is how to eat really good food. I mean, obviously you can look at me and see that I don't have a problem eating food, but we have some really good food here. This is probably only going to expand, but Steve also likes to go to the gym, so maybe I'll hit the gym with him a couple times after eating his beef stew.
Yes, you can get like a beefcake after you
eat.
Oh, also our goal every day is to try to find something funny enough to have Marvin lose composure.
And it happens often enough. I'll tell you what. There's some funnies.
Yep. So it's been fun, and like I said, just wanted to give a vlog update as always. Also, I wanted some thoughts on I always like feedback. Feel free to leave some comments, send me messages. I love when people email me because I have my podcast, which you get emails from, and as I build up subscribers on this channel, I'm trying to figure out. The channel. I had someone say, and they're right, that the channel's kind of scattered as I cover a lot of topics, but really that's what I do. I do a lot of different things. We, as a company, do a lot of different things. Sometimes we're fixing retail computers, which is not so exciting. A lot of our day job is fixing QuickBooks problems and fixing printer support. Nothing I can really make a video about. Food is fun. So I'm always encouraged, when people, clearly one of the popular topics is any of the videos I do on firewalls, which I plan to do more of those. I did some videos on being secure, keeping your IP address private. Those seem to be getting popular, but if you have, I'm always looking for different suggestions. Someone said a couple of them that I'm not sure how to address, which was how to show how we do a new computer, and I'm like, there's not a lot, there's not a lot we do with that, but either way, keep the comments coming. That's what helps drive a narrative so we can figure out what I'm supposed to be doing, because honestly, I just guess a lot, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing this topic, or when we do it for a client, like, hey, I need this firewall set up with dual failover, I end up doing a dual failover video. I see pfSense has a new box coming out, I go review the new box, because we like pfSense. So keep the comments coming, and
let us know what you want to see.
As of right now, we're coming up on about 3,000 subscribers on our YouTube, so I want to do a giveaway, but I don't know what to give away because I cover so many topics. Maybe I should give away the firewall, but of course, I said I'll give away the red firewall, but also my review of the firewall is not very good. So I don't know if this is the best giveaway, but I don't know what to do with it either. Because I can't really return it. But if you have an idea for a giveaway, what I should give away, I don't mind giving away something, and I'm excited about having 3,000 subscribers. And but yeah, just encourage me to do more by sending comments and likes or all that fun stuff. So this is going on Facebook, but if you're not watching us on Facebook and you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe for more content, and also suggest what the more content should be.
The button's down here somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere's a button over here.
Definitely give us ideas, because then that's less work we have to do.
Oh, yeah.
And then we give you exactly what you want. It's a simpatico relationship we have here, folks.
Oh, and I did my video on where all my money went on my YouTube channel. I thought
it all went to me. Hey, come on.
Yeah.
worth every penny.
A summary of that video, if you don't want to watch it, is I spent all my money on people. People are what drives the tech business. But if you want more business topics, tell me kind of if there's like a general business thing you want to know about how my business operates. I will more than happy to share any of that with you, or how I've managed to stay in business this long. Because if I talk about it, I'll figure it out at the same time. I think it's because of honesty and integrity, but there might be more to the story than that.
Well, I'm sure those are parts of it, certainly.
So if you're still with us, thanks for listening, and see you next time.
See ya.
Cool.